Major Upset was this past weekend, and we covered the top 2 finishers, Leo and Spargo, in a video I made on Tuesday. However, there were 6 other finishers in top 8 this weekend that are worth discussing. Today, we'll be going over the top 8 of Major Upset, how they got there, and how they performed within the apex of the tournament. Just like most of my top 8 recap videos, we'll be starting from the 7th place finishers, working our way up to the winner. In that vein, first we're going to be talking about this weekend's 7th place finishers, Chase and Base Mage. With Chase as the 14th seed and Base Mage as the 13th, both of them outplaced their seed this weekend. Let's start with the lower seed, Chase, first. Chase started the weekend by sweeping through pools without dropping a game, 2-0ing Saw Step to make it out of pools.
Saw from Spare earlier, seemed to be doing a lot of work in that back air, just slamming him all the way to the right side.
Chase then went on to defeat Valor 3-0, Jojo de Hobo 3-1, before coming up against the player who would ultimately prove his undoing this weekend, Riddles. Chase fought Riddles in winner's quarters of top 64, and he lost in an extremely close Game 5 set.
Even if Chase does take this stock, Riddles does have a chance of having these dead.
There we go.
He really went off stage
Third
like
time's
that.
the charm, man.
Took him all the way.
After that, Chase went on an impressive but short losers run, defeating both Embo Z in a Game 5 set, who you've likely heard their name in a few of my videos by now, always lurking in the losers bracket just outside of top 8. Chase then went on to defeat Ouch in an upset win to make it into top 8. Now that Chase had made it to top 8, how about we take a wild guess on who Chase had to fight for his very first match of top 8? That's right, Riddles. Their second set ended the exact same way as their first, in a Game 5 set with Riddles getting a strong lead to finish out Game 5.
Started it
Oh,
off.
no, he got him on the left.
Again.
Nigga, GG's, you're dead, bro.
Kill him.
You're dead, bro. You're dead, bro. You're dead, bro.
And SoCal's finest is going to bow out at 7 after an incredible performance against his demon, the one who sent him down to the losers bracket in the first place. He almost had it.
While Chase did get 7th here, they got double eliminated by the same player. If Chase had to fight someone else at this point of the bracket, maybe he could have gone farther. But we'll never know thanks to Kazuya Mishima. Next up we have Base Mage. The most impressive thing about Base Mage's run this weekend is that it was done almost entirely from loser's side. Base Mage started off his pool well, defeating his opponents in mostly 2-0s and 1-2-1 before coming up on a very early roadblock. Base Mage lost in a Game 3 set against Fizmin, dropping into losers before even top 64.
Fizmin is committing. He's saying, I don't think I can do it. And up air is going to take it, and the venue pops off. Base Mage, hand and face.
Like the nerves have to be
Fizmin.
crazy.
But Base Mage wouldn't let his early loss deter him, as he went on an incredibly impressive win streak. Here's the list. A 3-0 over Cattail, a 3-1 over Moxie, a 3-2 over Adam, a 3-0 over Quinn, a 3-0 over Skittles, and finally defeating Zomba in a clutch Game 5 set to make it into top 8. And let me tell you, Puff Rob is not a good matchup for Puff. From here, Base Mage would lose his very first set of top 8, losing to Jackal in the Game 5 set that felt a lot closer than it actually was.
I need one rest.
One small nair.
That's
But
the up air, that will do it.
That big up air
That
will
was
send that.
I feel like that was the first time that Jackal kind of chased Base Mage on those landings.
Regardless, a very impressive losers run from Base Mage, and his first NA top 8 at a tournament this big. Now we're up to our 5th place finishers, Kurama and Jackal. Let's start with Kurama. Kurama started off the weekend strong, getting out of pools without dropping a game. Kurama then proceeded to sweep through top 64, only dropping 2 games in total. In top 64, Kurama defeated JDV 3-0, Fizmint 3-1,
Times in these right predicaments. But I think that's going to close it.
and Zomba 3-1.
Didn't end up bringing Kurama back to Zomba, but the up smash, how did he know?
This put Kurama into top 8 from a decisive performance that can only be described as a sweep. However, fate decided that this was the end of Kurama's sweep, as he lost his very next set against MK Leo in winter semis.
Nice, covering that fast option with that really fast jab.
Nice slow out recovery, dizzy up smash raw.
I tried.
It will kill.
And then immediately went on to lose to Riddles in losers quarters for a solid placement of 5th.
Gonna have to see, man. He's up on that top platform, kind of the way we've seen it from the beginning of this set. And the minute you leave your feet.
Next up we have Jackal, who, just like Base Mage, suffered an early loss early in the bracket. Jackal started off the weekend strong, sweeping through his pool and winning his first set of top 64, a 3-0 against Biggie Mouth. But that's when he encountered the hidden boss of Major Upset this weekend, Ludo. Ludo is a Seattle Mario player who got 9th in Major Upset this weekend, and who also made waves by upsetting multiple players during his run, including Esam, Jackal, and Quinn. He barely missed out on top 8, but as the 40th seed, Ludo has an insane run this weekend with an SPR of +4. By the way, I was going to calculate SPR on my own, but just take a look at the calculations page. Or this. Or this. Like, spare me my life, man. Anyways, Jackal lost to Ludo in a 3-0 loss and had to go on a loser's run to make top 8.
This might just be delaying the inevitable. Yeah, that back throw should absolutely finish it off.
See ya, bro.
Yep, that's going to wrap it. Ludo dominating Jackal in the 3rd game. My goodness.
On his way to top 8, Jackal beat Solo 3-0, Louis Money 3-1, Fizmit 3-2, and actually won the run back versus Ludo in a 3-0 victory, completely showing off his adaptation. Once in top 8, Jackal defeated Base Mage Game 5 before losing 0-3 to Big D for 5th.
Listen, it is Sunday, man. Miracles are known to happen, but unfortunately, we ain't in church, bro. We in a venue for some Smash Brothers. That was some damn good Smash we just saw right there with Big D taking the 3-0 over Jackal.
Now we're on to our top 4 finishers, and 4th place for Major Upset was Big D. Big D, like many of the players we've discussed so far, started off by sweeping through their pool, this time not dropping a game. In top 64, they defeated Krieg 3-1, the absolute GOAT Rocky Balboa 3-1, and then Riddles 3-1 to make top 8.
The throw is going to be chasing Nana. The boot to Nana to push out the stage. She's dead. With the down smash, that's going to be enough. Big D makes it top 8 winner's side.
Now, that's certainly an impressive win against Riddles, but before this, Big D actually had a positive record on Riddles, defeating him twice at GOML 2022 and the Ludwig Invitational. And Big D also outperformed Riddles at Smash Summit 6, so this may not have been a huge deal in the eyes of many. Now in top 8, Big D came against his first roadblock in Spargo in winners semifinals. Spargo ended up winning that set 3-0, sending Big D to losers where he defeated Jackal 3-0 before fighting Riddles in losers semifinals. But this time, Riddles channeled the Devil Gene and defeated Big D in a dominant 3-0, eliminating Big D at 4th place.
I got to do it with 2 climbers as well, Rod. You cannot afford to go it alone, but you might not even have a chance at that. Riddles gets the get back in a 3-0 in dominant fashion.
Now, if you've been paying any attention, you'll know our next player is Riddles, our 3rd place finisher. Riddles has been in a miniature slump lately. Not as much of a slump as, say, Leo, but a slump nonetheless since his win at the Big House 10. Riddles, as has become the pattern, swept through his pool, only dropping 1 game to Luisito before winning that set to make it out of pools.
Slam on the head and that seemed to, I don't think Luisito was ready for that.
It's also worth mentioning that Riddles defeated Isaiah, a player some of the homies in the audience might recognize as Pac-Man Player 22, the man, the myth, the legend. Once in top 64, Riddles took multiple wins in top 64 from the likes of Chase and MFA before his loss to Big D that we just discussed. He then, in the losers bracket, defeated MFA again to make top 8, where he bested Chase again, Karama, and Big D to make it to losers finals. It was here that Riddles would finally fall, losing to Spargo 0-3. But with his strong performance this weekend, Riddles has made a great step into coming out of this small slump and getting back to his peak performance.
The work round, but if you're in Tansel, then who the hell cares? Back air's gonna close it out.
Our last 2 players are Spargo and MKLeo, with MKLeo being our 2nd place finisher and Spargo being our winner. Now, I would discuss these 2, but I already made a video right here on Tuesday discussing these 2 where I went over their bracket paths. I could go over what I said there again, but I'll save you the time. In fact, you could go watch that video right after this one, but why don't I just save you the trouble and play the entirety of that video in this video? You ready? Here it comes. Did you get all that? Good, you're fully up to speed. That does it for today's video. If you liked today's video, please consider subscribing both here on my YouTube and also dropping a follow on my Twitch channel where I stream Smash for most of the days of the week. I've been Mr. Mice, and thank you all so much for watching.